Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor and glory to you. Yahweh Shem Shai, Bishop McCulkadush, and give a double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who well. Peace and salutation to you, elect. Shem Yahweh is a mapper from the Great Millstone Plaintables camp located here in the city of Philadelphia. Coming with another wee lesson, or a little lesson. And this is a video that was done by Survival Lily. And Survival Lily, I believe she's Austrian, if I'm not mistaken. Edomite out of Austria, and she does really good videos and a lot, because she's usually prepping for the end. She knows that the end is near, and she is doing all that she can do to prepare for it, obviously in a vain way, because her carnal things are not gonna save her in the day of the Lord's wrath. Okay, and it's only if you're of the election, of the elect, the prophets. If you're a man, if her as a woman, if she was of the 1/3 believers that are women, which also collect men and children that are destined and believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, that's who the Lord is going to have mercy upon. Now, she does a daily situations video of the basically current state that is in Europe. This has been published 3 days ago. It's currently February the 12th, 2025. And so, you can do your calculations. It's 2025, and this is the hopeful year of our deliverance, and also the destruction and judgment of Esau, Edom. And she's been covering the fall of the actual collection of peoples, which you have Jake scattered amongst them, or Israelites scattered amongst them. But she's covering the fall of her people, her nation's nationality and such, Esau. Okay. Now, we're just gonna play in the spirit what she got and bring out edification. The scriptures do speak about us being watchmen. All right. We would stand upon our watch. Okay. So it says, this is Isaiah chapter 62 and 6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem representing the Israelites, okay? Collectively. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites. Which shall, pardon me, you Israelite foreigners that are like unto speckled bird, that look like other heathen nations. Okay? It says, which shall never hold their peace day or night. What that represents the diligence, of course, too, of the prophets, because they're not holding their peace. Why? Because they're speaking the Lord's word and letting, of course, the flock know of the future danger, the coming destruction. Also letting the nations know the judgments, okay, that the Lord is bringing. All right, we are prophets unto the nations. Okay, it says, ye that make mention of Yahweh keep not silent. So that's why you see brothers doing videos daily. And we have to continue to do videos daily and be diligent to make our call and election sure, of course, too. Okay? So we're barking. All right? We're not as them dumb dogs that are, as it's saying too, that are blind and they ignorant, and they can't bark, and they sleeping and lying down, loving slumber, loving being within a complacent state of rest and comfortability. No, we're telling you of the different things to come, all right, and what to beware of, okay, prophetically. Shamar, okay, Shamar goes into as watchmen, okay, being one that is on guard and taking heed and being aware. Okay, that's what we're doing. Now we're gonna go back to survivability video. Fair use warning. Survivability. I'm not doing this for any monetary use. This is for educational purposes only, going on to it.
All right, guys. So once again, I would like to report about the destruction of the economy of the European Union. And
Yeah, the destruction of the European Union, okay, which is the EU, okay, that's the acronym for it. European Union, which is a collective of European companies that come together, all right, and they not only militarily help assist each other, but also financially too, okay. You have the different various member states, okay. You go in the scriptures do talk about the European Union. They're known as the 10 horns, all right, which you would read in Book of Revelation. Was it you read it in I think Revelation the 13th chapter. It talks about the 13th chapter. It talks about the 10 horns, right? First verse, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, 7 heads represent Esau's 7 major governments, being the you go into it, the French, the Spanish, the British, the Greeks, the Romans, Germaner Major, Germaner Minor. Okay. If I already done said that all together, I'm going to repeat. The French, the Spanish, the British, the Greeks, the Romans, Germaner Major, Germaner Minor. That's the 7 heads. And you have the 10 horns. Okay. And let's go to the ancient and current, which you have it. They came back with the Treaty of Rome, which we go into all this, but the European Economic Community and such, which today is the EEC. But you have it, the 10 horns, okay, which would be your EU of today, okay. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And we have the beast as NATO. Okay? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Though you have different European nations that are not a part, or you have different nations that's not a part of the EU, such as like Canada. All right, but they're part of NATO. Okay? And that's all to go against Russia. Okay? And, yeah. And you have it, they give their power unto this beast, right? Revelation 17. Okay. Revelation chapter 17, which I'm just going to go like briefly. It says here that this is Revelation chapter 17. And it says here in verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate. Which I'm going ahead. I'm going to go back. Slakia. This is Revelation chapter 17. And this is verse 12. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, NATO. Okay, and with that conglomerate, if that's the word, that collective, they're gonna come against America, okay. And they, of course, as the vassals, would strengthen the ancient Roman Empire, because this is an image of that, okay. They're doing the same thing today, but they're falling. Okay, as Daniel's tell you about how the EU is partly strong and partly weak. Okay, Daniel chapter 2 and 30. What's that? 30. What's that? 30 or 40. There's the 10, like you talk about the defeated toes. All right, just go to this Roman Empire, the new Roman Empire, the Roman Empire. Okay, Daniel chapter 2 and 40, it says, "In the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and the iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise." Okay? The Roman Empire with its great military ability to conquer, etc. And still with America, how they go about subjugating, okay, and pushing that Edomite influence and supremacy over the nations and such, okay? It says, "And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided." And this is, you're going to see a very divided kingdom, okay? As you see with the European Union falling apart, okay? They're supposed to hold each other together as we member states. You had Britain, Brexit. They exited the European Union, okay? And they're doing their own trade agreements and such. And that's a nightmare too. But there shall be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And you have it with weaker European nations economically, and you have the stronger ones. You know, you had like Germany was great, you know, Britain when it was apart, you know, just to name something, French, okay? But they've been going down, okay? And wanting to get out, okay? You got the weaker nations, and you could go into that pigs economics and such, and, you know, and it just still, we're seeing it play out, okay? In real time. The Wada Yabashimashai for the prophecies. Let's just go back to this.
Today I'm going to start with this article here, which is devastating for us Europeans and for the economy now and in future. So first of all, they have made new CO2 prices, taxes on CO2. So last year the price was 45 euros per ton, and now it's 55 euros.
So you're seeing you're giving more tribute, okay? They're coming with more and more and more of this carbon tax and CO2 tax. Hey, they doing it a lot to you guys before it gets to America, okay? You guys are emitting all these very, very harmful gases into the environment. Let's tax you guys. And remember, we're going to go all electric, because that's more and more and more safer for climate change.
But that's not the worst thing. So 2026 the price will rise to 65 euros.
And look, they already have the projection, the estimated projection for the price increase, okay? And that's just now what they're telling you now, if you could trust your enemy. So it's not like things are going to get greater. It's getting worse.
And then also in 2027, they will switch to a certificate system. And this is going to break our neck, okay? So
yes, is he telling you, like, look, listen, like, it's going to break our neck. Which, if you break somebody's neck, that's fatality, okay? Once you kill the heat, there's of course, life, okay? When you cut off the head like Yahushua is gonna do, okay? You know, the whole body is gonna go down, right? As we know, what Yahushua is gonna do. He was that stone, right? When you read in Daniel's the 2 and 45, all right? To you forth.
They will implement this ETS certificate system for 2 areas of heating and transport. Also, maritime transport will be required to pay a CO2 tax for the first time as well. So with the new law, which is now passed in the Bundestag, consumers must prepare for rising costs. The new CO2 pricing system does not set a fixed price. Instead, the price is determined on a kind of emissions exchange. Companies that want to emit CO2 must buy certificates for this. The European Union regularly decides how many certificates there are in total and reduces this number over time. This creates price pressure that is based on the supply and demand of available certificates. So it's an artificial system that they are going to put on our products, which is just going to make our products more expensive. And this then will cause people to consume less because the product is more expensive. And of course, if people have less money because of the recession, then they will buy less products. Hence, you will have less CO2. So even if the demand for a product remains...
So they're putting a squeeze on you because they don't want you to really do what you do now. They want to regulate all of that. You're going into a dystopian system, okay, where things are miserable. Okay, it's unpleasant. Where you times prior was, able to do these things at ease or do these things at a comfortable way financially, be able to sustain yourself. All of that sustainability is going out of the window with this NWO plot. Okay, you have miserable times coming. Okay, simple as that. Okay. This is Isaiah 32, and it says in verse 5, it says, "The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful." And the wicked, Esau Edom, which is known to be the vilest the vilest, okay. You learn in Job, he's a base man and such. And he's not gonna seem as if he's bountiful. And he gonna take care of you. He coming to completely take all of your happiness away from you. Okay? All that way of getting by and things that you enjoyed, that's being removed from you. Okay? You can't enjoy just driving your car down the street. You have a tax on that. You're going to consider walking, okay, or getting an e-bike. And you're going to use how much energy we tell you to use, okay? That's what they're coming with, all right? It says, "For the vile person will speak villainy, and in his heart will work iniquity," right? To practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make the soul of the hungry, or make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And he does all this stuff through his various policy and his philosophies, right, within it. Okay? It says the instruments, which instruments will go back to, obviously, Kaliyah, all right? But these are things that would have to be thought up, okay? These ideas and such, right? Also of the churl are evil. He deviseth Ya'itazah, which is Ya'itazah, go back to counsel, okay? He has his certain deliberate plans based on his advising. Guys, we can't do this no more, right? He devises wicked devices. He thinks these things up to destroy the poor with lying words. Oh, well, this is better for the planet. Guys, listen, man. You can't consume all this plastic no more. We're going to make you, you should reuse your bags. Make sure they're paper bags. And, this we're saving this amount per year. When you do this, we're we're killing up everything by our actions have been going. We need to change things up. This is what this guy devised. Okay? Lying words. Even when the needy speak is right. Okay? And these things are to destroy you. Okay? Which destroy, go back to Hebrew, chabal, which chabal goes into, it ruins you. It binds you. Become pledged, you know. It's like you put you in debt, man. Okay? A promise. Which when you go and take out credit lines and stuff like that, you're promising to pay that money back. If not, we will get you some way, somehow. We will send our credit bureaus after you and different debt collectors for you. Okay? But that's what Esau want to get you into, a trap. And he plans this stuff out. Okay? Micah chapter 2, it says, woe unto them that devise iniquity. And these are all iniquity. These are ways to get people within usury, interest. Okay? And work evil upon their beds. They're in their beds because they're in their heaven right now, at rest. The Edomites. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand, and they have control of the whole earth, so they can do these things. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence, and houses they take them away, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. You know, people have these different rights. You would say, like, God-given rights to, you know, to live and do things, and this man goes and takes that and subjugates you and have you subject unto payments, us as Israelites. So let's go back.
It's high. The product becomes more expensive and over time becomes less attractive for consumers. This is intended to encourage people to switch to low-emission products, for example, by switching from a combustion engine to an electric car, or from a gas heating system to a biomass heating system.
So you see what he wants. He wants to eliminate all of that. Okay, I want to get up and go, put gas in my car. Nope, not no more. You have to change. That's going to cost you. Okay, you was using as what they say, allegedly fossil fuels. No, you have to get a electric battery powered car and charge up on our grid, electric grid. Okay, I didn't even know this technology she was coming with. What did she said?
Biomass heating system. Here, or from a gas heating system to a biomass heating system.
I don't even know what she just said. A biomass heating. Let's look up what a biomass heating system is. Okay. A biomass heating system uses organic waste to create heat and electricity. They can be more efficient and environmental friendly than traditional heating system. Okay, this is all part of that green agenda. Okay, it's eco-friendly, reduces waste, reliance on fossil fuels. Just as I've said, renewable. This is renewable energy source. Maintenance. Biomass boilers require more maintenance than fossil fuel. So look, that's a con. They need more maintenance. That's going to be more cost. Biomass boilers have a higher initial cost than traditional heating systems. Yes, new technology. Storage. Biomass fuels like wood pellets require a lot of storage space. Yeah, you got to have a place to put those wood pellets. But then ain't that cutting down and, you know, as a feller and cutting down trees and hurting the environment? Don't we need trees? And that's the hypocrisy of Esau. We'll keep it till you on.
Here they're saying that they cannot estimate how high the price will be then, because it will be like a free market for certificates. So here they're saying it is very difficult to estimate how much a ton of CO2 will cost in the European Union from 2027 onwards. After all, it all depends on how far we have come with climate protection by then. Nevertheless, researchers are constantly trying to investigate exactly this. They estimate
Exactly what the prophet's talking about. Go on.
that the range of the CO2 price will be between 100 and 300 euros per ton of CO2.
Damn.
Can you imagine that? We are already in a really precarious situation here in Europe, and right now the price is 55 euros per ton of CO2. But imagine if the price goes up to 300 euros. So guys, this is really crazy. We are witnessing the complete destruction of the European economy, and it will be incredibly expensive to make a living here in Europe.
It will be incredibly unpleasant. More expensive makes it unpleasant for y'all. Okay, because y'all getting the curses come upon y'all. Okay, the Lord is putting the curses, lifting the curses off of us, the Israelites, and putting it on you guys. Okay? That's Deuteronomy. It talks about that. Alright, Deuteronomy, I believe the 31st chapter. And it talks about how it's either 31 or 30th. It's verse 7. It says, this is Deuteronomy 30:3. It says, then, the Lord Yahweh, thy power will turn thy captivity, talking to the Israelites, and have compassion upon thee, sorry, with the elect, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether Yahweh thy power hath scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out into the utmost part of heaven, here in Babylon the Great, right? From thence utmost part of heaven. Let me see. From thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. The Lord gonna be gathering Israelites, okay, from where they've been put, okay. Let's go down to verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 from the 15th verse down to the 64th verse. And on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. The nations have hated us and persecuted us. Starting with Esau, Edom. Okay? Go to Psalms 83. Let's keep going.
Alright, the next problem in Germany is this here. This is a huge problem.
Let's talk about Timon. Let's talk about Germany, which led usually manufacturing. What is it? One of the top economies used to be in Europe. Okay? I'm not sure how it is. What's the top economy in Europe, if it's still there, but they've been on the decline. Alright? It says, end of feed in tariff, a new era begins for solar owners.
So, on one side, they want you to pay for CO2 and to switch to renewable energy sources. But if you actually have invested in a solar system, now they want to end the tariff that you get if you feed in your electricity into the grid. A new era begins for solar owners. The existing coalition government and the union have adopted a new energy restructuration plan. The Bundestag has passed a bundle of energy laws that are intended to set a new course for energy transition. Among other things, the so-called Solar Peak Act was passed, which ushers in a new era of feed-in tariffs. The law was passed by the SPD, the Greens, and the Union, which is the Conservative Party. Abolition of feed-in tariffs during sunny periods. The amendment provides for the abolition of the feed-in tariff at a certain time.
Yeah, you have it, your European Parliament members, they're pushing this stuff. They're pushing this NWO plot. Okay? For all you members. Okay? Y'all gotta abide by this stuff. Even if you want it not to be a part of it, hey, your country is going for it. Because this is what Esau Edom with his elite want. Okay? That's controlling your various parliaments. Your House of Lords and your House of Commons and all of that, and coming together voting. But go on.
And is intended to increase incentives to store the electricity generated. So here they're saying that a lot of homeowners have invested in solar energy, mostly because of the incentives, because you will get money if you feed in your electricity into the system. So it was a little bit of an investment, but it would pay back, and then you would have a really low electricity bill. And that's a good thing, but now they will cut off the feed-in tariff. Now you have invested in a PV system, but you don't get the return of investment anymore that you have expected. Most of your income is generated in summertime when it's sunny, but when it's too sunny, they will just turn off your PV with the smart meter, or they will just pay you less money. All right.
So then you're at a loss. You done invested in something that's, you're not getting a return on investing. So is that profitable for you? And they gave you went off of false pretense, trusting in thy enemy. That's why the scriptures say never to trust thy enemy. A lot of people are going to see a lot of trusting in the system and what it amounts to. What is the sum of it? And it's what? Suffering. and a breaking of agreements. False promises. Unemployment rises more than 10% in the last quarter.
So now let's take a look at news in other European countries. For example, here they are writing that the unemployment rises more than 10% in the last quarter in Portugal. Yeah, then also we have the boss of the German Social Democrat Party, so it's basically the Socialist Party, and she is demanding a wealth tax to support the war in Ukraine. And this lady here is wishing for $500 million US dollars each month. So she wants to send 500 million US dollars each month to the Ukraine to support the war and the killing and the murder of people. So this is
don't just say people. Usually your people, right? That are Edomites as well. So regardless of whether you're against it or not, they're doing these things no matter what. Okay? And hey, they got America, the whore, to help out. Okay? So, y'all have been deceived. And I'm going to leave it off with this scripture. It's a lot. You could go on this all day. Let me get Obadiah. It tells you. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and 6. It says, how are the things of Esau, which calls itself wheat, but isn't he? He's Adawam red, all right? Adawam, okay? Well, he is, right, red. How are his hidden things sought up? That's due to the Spirit of the Lord, okay? Searching all things. As I was in Corinthians in one of my previous lessons. Okay? It says, all the men of thy confederacy, your unions, your agreed unions, have brought thee even to the border. The men that are at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevail against thee. The point, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. That's the 8. There is no understanding in him. There's no understanding in eating. Y'all seeing that? Hey, come together, help each other out, as a collective. And now look, it's all backfiring on you because the situation is getting worse and worse.
In Santorin, there's earthquakes going on, and it's around the caldera of the island, of the Greek island Santorin. And apparently 2/3 of the inhabitants have already fled the island, either with the airplane or with the boat. So this is the region in the Aegean Sea where this is unfolding.
Agag Sea. Think of Agag being Edom. All right, Esau. This. When you go into Agag, yeah.
And they are now fearing that there will be a huge tectonic shift and a huge earthquake, and also there's a great risk that a tsunami will come and just destroy the island.
And that's what we warned. Hey, earthquake. This is what the apostle to earthquakes, different dreadful events gonna bring off other things, and the Lord gave these warnings. Okay. Luke chapter 22, I believe, and I think I'm trying to remember. Or 21. I believe it might be 21. Luke 21. Things to come. And it says here, this is the words of Yahushua. Then he said unto, sorry, I can go a bit above. Luke chapter 21 and 7. And they asked, all right, disciples, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign, tokens, will there be when these things shall come to pass? These events. And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and the time draweth near, go ye therefore not after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, right? All that going on in Ukraine, that's a war and commotion. But be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by. Then he said unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall, Luke chapter 21:11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. As you were saying, in that sea of Agag, and Greek islands, or that she was going into. Or what she's mentioned. You can go back and check on your own. And it says, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights. Fearful sights. These are different fearful sights. Let you guys know the earthquake happened, and then on top of that, a tsunami can come right back after that. That's dread after dread. Okay? And we're not talking about locks in your heat. Alright? Your head. No pun intended. But it says, "In great signs shall there be from heaven." Okay, and we have great signs. We got different alignment of planets. Okay, different solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, comets, all sorts of stuff, let you know that this is the end. So pay and take heed.
So this is why the schools are now closed, and a lot of people have already left the island. Yeah, then we also have other news from other European countries. Here, for example, we have news from Portugal. So they are saying that the unemployment rate rises more than 10% in the last quarter, which is really bad. Then also we have a Spanish newspaper, which is reporting that the car dealers in Navarra warn of a slowdown in demand of plug-in cars. So apparently
all these stupid freaking plug-in cars, or your electric cars, is slow down. And let's repeat that.
Warn of a slowdown in demand of plug-in.
And demand. People don't want these cars. Okay? Being over there in Spain, which Spain is a part of the EU, European Union. Okay? Go ahead.
Cars. So apparently the public aids from European funds have been reduced for purchases of new electric cars by 4,500 euros, and that has caused a real stampede of potential plug-in car customers. Yeah, I have to say I'm really glad that I've never bought an e-car, because if you do a little bit of research,
They gonna shut your stuff off if you don't have compliance with the system. That's what's gonna happen. Okay? You don't have total control of your car. It's digital. It can be hacked.
you will learn that it's actually not that great. So I have to say I'm really glad that I've stuck with my old
She just summed it up like that, but
15-year-old diesel Audi, and I'm super glad that I've never bought into electric cars, electric vehicles. So I'm really glad that I'm still driving my old car. And
if she don't know somebody can LaQuac or take or seize her car, okay, in the coming times where men are gonna come invasion of one another for lack of bread and the different the stresses that's gonna be happening. But hey, let people, you know, trust in oppression and whatever false gods they believe in and themselves, and hey, that'd be it.
it's great. The mechanic said it's awesome and it will drive at least 5 more years. Alright, guys, so this
Yeah, that's what they're telling you.
is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching, and also I want to thank you for your support.
And that's basically it. So, just wanted to give that out there, man. We in a time of prophecy. The European Union falling apart. The Edomites falling. They build, but the Lord's breaking them down. Take heed and arm yourself wisely. All right. Shalom to the elect.